Hey everyone, I hope you're having a good day today because I am. And if you're not having a good day, don't worry, I'll make it good. How, you ask? Because today I'm going to give you knowledge. Well, yeah, this is my Dirt Scratch tutorial for you guys. This is actually probably the first one where I'm going to show you how to actually code. And what are we coding this time? This game. So it's a simple game where you have to put your mouse over it and it just disappears. As you can see, you have lives and you have stores. Oh no, I'm losing lives. No, I don't want to lose. This game isn't even that hard. No! Yeah, you get the point. This game is a pretty simple game. It's not like billions of lines of strips of code like some other game I made. But let's dive straight into making the game. Oh, what do I get? An update screen. What do I do to the update screen? Cancel it. Okay, so the first thing is we're gonna start off. This is a brand new project that we just started off. I'm gonna go into costumes and I'm gonna delete this useless costume. So what we're gonna make first is the little black rectangle. You know, the ones that float up and the ones that do damage to you. So first we're going to start by deleting the cat, because I don't like the Scratch slogan. So on this right, I explained this in my last video, but I'm pretty sure I told you that you can skip that video because I never really taught much. So you see this, you just press this magnifying glass and it can get bigger. And this little magnifying glass with this is basic knowledge, I think you know this. The equal sign just sets it back to normal. So I'm going to zoom in to about 400. I'm going to click this, the rectangle function, and I'm going to get a rectangle, which you can have either this type of rectangle, which I don't want, or you can have the solid rectangle, which is the one I want. Reasonable size. I'm just going to center it with this little function. You click on the center and boom, centered. So I'm going to write this object. I'm going to click I and then you can name it. I didn't actually know this when I first started doing this, and it got really annoying because it says sprite 1. Okay, now we're going to need the place that once it hits, you lose a life. So I'm going to zoom out for this, and you see how there's this, it says bitmap mode? I don't like bitmap mode, because it's really blocky when it's bitmap mode. So there's this little button called convert to vector. And what you're going to do is you're going to click it. And now you get these better things. Same thing with the rectangle. I'm going to get a lighter shade of rectangle in the color picking section. I really suggest you explore this by yourself. So target. I don't care, I spelled it wrong. Wait, and yes. Okay, that took a long time and I'm not happy. So now that we got the target, you see how none of these guys are really centered. It says go to this. This is its current X and Y position. We want it centered. And normally in math, when you learn the center is 0, where X is 0 and Y is 0. If you learn another coding language like JavaScript, you know that the center is on the top right corner. Screw you, JavaScript. Okay, so then you're just gonna click that. When you click on one of these blocks, it just runs the code. And okay, now it's centered. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm just gonna do a simple code. Because when you start a program, you click on the green flag. Now you know why it's green flag. So you go into events, and there's this when green flag clicked. You're gonna get that one function. And you're going to go into looks, and you're going to go and click show. Okay, now that you got show. Okay, this is kind of useless. I don't think we'll need this, but it's just there in case if we need to hide it, in case if we don't want it to be there. So this will just make sure that it shows what it's doing right now. Then we'll switch costume to target because I will use the same sprite for the game over screen. So it would be reasonable for it to switch the costume to target, which is this costume. Okay, so then you just center it and there, just in case if some evil person comes and does that. Boom. Okay, so now we're on the more tricky side. Okay, we're gonna have to make this. We're gonna start with the when green flag clicked. So I'll explain. So we're gonna need a variable. Like you've learned in math class, what a variable is. It is a letter or a name that represents a number. Psst, it can actually represent like a whole sentence from scratch. Okay, so basically it represents a number. If you didn't learn this, well, congratulations, you learned it now. So you're gonna click on that, and you get this little pop-up, new variable. You type in a name for variable, lives. So this is gonna be the variable for lives. You see this little thing? Don't worry about that for now. Just don't mess with it, and it should be fine. Click on OK, and you can just click and hold and drag this to anywhere you please. Okay, now that you got lives down here, we're also gonna make one for score. And we're going to put score right there. Okay, so, like when the program starts, you want the lives to be 10. So you want to give them 10 lives. Sorry about that. So then we're also going to set the score to 0. How? So mean. They have to start from 0. Oh well. Okay, and then we're actually going to tell him to hide. Because I actually had this bug in my last program. It was a 2-second fix. This actually was showing. You'll understand later. Just do as I say. So then, you're going to make a repeat forever loop. Okay? This is repeat forever, not just forever. You're going to get a wait 1 second or 0.5 seconds. Don't wait 0 seconds because that's going to lag your computer. And it's going to say create clone of myself. So it's going to make a copy of itself every half second. Damn, that's fast. Yeah, it will get laggy if you have a lot of them on screen, which is why I highly suggest you don't forget this important block of wait. Okay, now we need to tell the copies what they're going to do, which is why I got this little code when I start as clone. So what do I do when I start as clone? Well, obviously I show, because I'm actually hidden here, and now I'm showing. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to go into motions, and like in this one where I showed you the go to, we're going to somewhere. We're going to go to negative 100, because negative 100 is like about here, out here. You can tell where everything is, the coordinates right here, it says. We'll call this the spawn point, because, like, you'll be familiar with this if you play a lot of video games. So we're going to go into operators, and we're going to get a pick random, because we don't want them to just spawn in one place. We want them to spawn all over the place. So the minimum x is negative 240, and the maximum is positive 240. So we'll pick a random location on the y-axis. Okay, there. Step number 1 is now done. Okay, now step number 2. We're going to go into control and we're going to get a repeat until. Okay. So we're going to go back into operators and we'll get an OR. It will make sense as soon as I get them in. So touching mouse pointer or touching target. So it's going to continue doing whatever command is inside here until it is touching mouse pointer or target. Mouse pointer is just in your mouse, and the target is this thing, will be named target. Okay, so now we will repeat. What is it going to do until this happens? Well, it's going to change y by 3. So it's going to move up 3 steps every time. Don't worry, a step is actually really small. Like, you don't know. Okay, so then we're going to go back into controls, and then what happens like after one of these case scenarios happen? Like, this is just going to stop. So we're going to have an if-else statement. If it is touching the target, then you're going to lose a life. So go back into data, and you're going to see this. Change. This says score, but you click on this triangle and change the lives by -1. This means it will, like, decrease your lives. Okay? Go back into control, get an if statement, and go back into operators, and this is if lives is smaller than 1. That means it will be 0. We're going to go into events, and we're going to broadcast the message. Not just any message. We're broadcasting game over. Whoops. Ah, it's game over, my friend. Checkmate. Okay, so, what about this else? Like, what if it's not touching target? Well, we know that once this repeat until statement stops, it has to be either this or that. And since we already know that if it isn't touching the target, it must be touching the mouse pointer. So what happens? You change the score by 1. Change score by 1. So that will get the score to go up by 1. Okay, so after it's done all this code evaluating, what is it supposed to do? Delete itself. It's useless. We don't need it anymore. Sorry, but it's called execution. Just kidding. Okay, so this game is now semi-functional. You can play it right now. Oh, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but you can draw a background like what I did. I just drew a super simple background. Oh, I'm not even gonna go into detail explaining what I did because, like, this is optional. Just gonna do this quickly. Grass, green. Move the sun into the corner there. That's literally what I did in like 5 seconds. If you guys really like doing this, you guys can really just explore all these functions. And I highly suggest you do that, because once you, like, make more advanced games, you would want to, you know, go and, do that. Oh, I just forgot. You're in costumes, and you go into scripts, and this is all the code. The only reason why I didn't explain this was I explained this the last video. And I completely forgot some people skipped that. But, oh well. So, we're going to go back into costumes, and we're going to draw a game over costume. But just let me rename this, okay? There we go. So, this is paint a new costume. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint a new costume. Same thing as last time, I'm going to get a rectangle. Get the text. And write game over 3 dots. And same thing as the other one, you can really decorate this if you want to, but I'm not going to for the overs. I'm going to rename this to... Okay, you can decorate it if you want to, but really it's just for simplicity, and I just want this tutorial to be short. So, when I receive game over, so remember how we said broadcast game over, like, this is how I'll explain broadcast. It just sends out a signal to everyone. Game over. So you're gonna have to tell it what should I do when I receive this signal? Well, go into looks and switch costume. Because the costume is target, but now it's game over. And go into control and stop all. Because we don't want the game to continue going after a game over screen. So, yeah, this is your simple game. It's really simple. I'm sorry if I was kind of fast on some stuff. So, let's say if there's something that you don't understand, I will post a link to this project. I'm going to share it, and you guys can all see it. Now, I'm just going to play this to make sure there isn't any bugs. Oh. Pro skills. Pro skills. Pro skills. Yeah, sorry about my ugly sing. No! I'm losing lives. Okay, we'll just let we'll just wait for a game over screen. See, everything works perfectly. Click the green flag to restart. You know what, I should have added that. But honestly, I like this game. So, also, for all these costumes, you can make them look cooler. It's all up to you. See ya. See you guys on the next tutorial.